Welcome to this day in wrestling history from November 9th. In 1956, Lou Thesz defeated Ripper, I believe, while watching in St. Louis, Missouri, to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. In 1975, Terry Funk and Paul Jones battled for the vacant NWA United States Heavyweight Championship in Greensboro, North Carolina. The belt had only come into being in January of 1975. So earlier that year, with Harley Race as the first champion. It was vacated by the second champion, Johnny Valentine, after the infamous plane crash in which Ric Flair broke his back. Funk won the match, but held the belt for less than 3 weeks before dropping it to Jones. In 1997, Survivor Series 1997 took place at the Motion Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and is famous for perhaps the most famous moment in wrestling history, the Montreal Screwjob. In the weeks prior to the event, Vince McMahon and Bret Hart had mutually agreed to terminate Hart's contract, enabling the Hitman to sign a hugely lucrative WCW contract. Hart was the reigning WCW champion at the time and used the creative control in his contract to refuse to lose the title to Shawn Michaels in Canada. The two men had become bitter enemies off screen, and with McMahon intent to ensure Hart did not leave for WCW without dropping the title, a plan was hatched that would see Michaels lock on Hart's own move, the sharpshooter, before referee Earl Hebner called for the bell and was deemed to have lost by submission without the champion's prior knowledge. The event caused a seismic shock in the wrestling world. Hart punched McMahon in the locker room after the event, and several wrestlers threatened to walk out of the company over this incident and betrayal. Rick Rude and the British Bulldog, and I think Jim Vanderbilt and Neidhart, all three of them did walk out. And one thing about that was, even though Vince McMahon says he didn't want Bret Hart to bring the WCW title with him, the WWF title with him to WCW, he could, if it had played out, he would not be on TV. He would on TV after the new year, as opposed to being on TV and like a few weeks later. And he may not have had the title. He may have just left it. And he was willing to leave the title in WWE, WWF, or E, whatever. In 1999, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a special guest on an episode of SmackDown to promote his new movie, In the Days. On the show, he was presented with his own WWF Championship by Vince McMahon. In the main event of the evening, Schwarzenegger dicked Triple H during an 8-man elimination match. In 2002, the All-Star Extravaganza took place at the Murphy Recreation Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The main event saw Masato Tanaka and Shinjo Otani defeat Loki and Steve Corino. Earlier in the card, Xavier defeated Jay Briscoe to retain the Ring of Honor Championship. In 2008, TNA Turning Point took place at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. No titles changed hands on that night, but the match in which Big Money Incorporated, which was Robert Roode and James Storm, retained the TNA Tag Team Championship against the Motor City Machine Guns. It's considered one of the greatest tag team matches in TNA history. In the main event, Sting retained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles. In 2009, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, from Sheffield, England. Guest host and former welterweight world champion in boxing, Ricky Horton defeated Trevor Guerrero in a boxer versus wrestler match. In 2017, an Impact television taping in Ottawa, Canada, LAX, represented by Santana and Ortiz, defeated Dave and Jake Christ to win the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championship. In 2019, AEW Full Gear took place in Baltimore, Maryland. It was the first AEW pay-per-view since the launch of their weekly television show Dynamite. In the main event, Jon Moxley defeated Kenny Omega in an unsanctioned lights out match. Let me get that right. The co-main event, Chris Jericho successfully defended the AEW World Championship against Cody. As per the pre-match stipulations, Cody could never again be able to challenge for that title after the match. Cody's friend MJF turned on him with a vicious beatdown. Also in 2019, in the main event of Evolve 139 in Woodside, New York, Josh Briggs defeated Austin Theory to win the Evolve title. Notable birthdays: Pete Dunne in 1993, Chris Jericho in 1970, and Nick Patrick, former WCW and WWE referee, in 1959. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day.